In this video tutorial, this is just, a little bit related to uploading, sizing, and positioning your mat, but maybe this is more comprehensive, especially for those who are just new in Cricut. So before we start on this tutorial, I just really wanted to share how you are going to be able to access this design space. Well, first of all, it's much easier if you have laptop or you have a personal computer, and then you have a Cricut machine. So you cannot access this design space without your Cricut machine. What you're going to do first is connect your machine, turn on your Bluetooth of your computer, and then connect the two together, and as well as make an account on Design Space. So as you can see in my panel here, I have the My project, which is, all the things that I made here in Design Space. So once you have an account, you can simply just save all your projects, so you don't have to recreate it again and again, and all you need to do is to go back to that project with a certain file name that you have had in mind, for you to be able to remember that particular project easily. So let's start with the design space, opening the design space. So this is how your canvas would look like, and I'm not going to go more technical on all this kind of stuff because Cricut itself has its own tutorial on how to use this buttons and panels here. So what I'm going to illustrate today is how we are going to upload the templates that you got from me. So first of all, if you have a cutting machine such as Cricut, I would highly recommend that you will get SVG or PNG file, and that's because those are the only files that would work. And sometimes ladies would freak out when they only receive PNG, and PNG is not what they think that would work in Cricut. It's only SVG. Well, you're wrong. Some of my listings has PNG instead of SVG because I have two clientele of the cut files. I have the Silhouette users and I have the Cricut machine user. And SVG works perfectly fine with a Cricut, but it doesn't really work, especially to the older version of Silhouette. And most of the Silhouette users they have the older version, so I have to, make the PNG for them. But PNG works with Cricut and at the same time, as I said, with the Silhouette users. So don't freak out if you have PNG because it will perfectly work okay with a Cricut machine. So let's start with saving your file. So this is the file that where I save, the sample petals that I'm going to show you. So as you can see, I have petal 21 in PNG and I have petal 21 in SVG. On this folder, I have the PNG and I have the SVG of the medium combo that I included in the paper flower wall collection. So I would recommend once you download your petals from Etsy or wherever, you save it in a folder right directly to your desktop, so it would be easier for you to find once, you know, once you are downloading it. So just for example, let's go to the downloads. Let's see what I downloaded here. So, excuse my picture. So, let's see, these are the downloads I have. This is petal number 21 PDF. So, what you need to do, especially if you're using Apple or Mac or MacBook, you just need to recreate folder. This is from your download area. And this is the Untitled folder. All you need to do is change the file name to this particular petal. So this is petal 21. It would be easier if it also labeled as petal 21. So again, this is from your downloads. I forgot how to, I'm sure it's also similar when you are using a different computer, but this is how Apple or, MacBook or Mac works. So all you need to do is copy the three and then just drag it to your particular folder. So now you have petal 21 in your desktop, but I don't really need it because we are not going to use PDF in this file, but we are going to try out the SVG and the PNG. So again, we are going back to the design space and let's start uploading the file. So let's start with, let me back up. So this is our design space. Sometimes I assume when I make a tutorial, I assume that everybody knows. So if you are a beginner, this is your platform, and the first thing that you need to do is go to upload. After you save all your files on your desktop, you click this upload and then click this upload image and then browse. And then now you can go to your desktop because that's where you are saving your files. And this is my sample petals. And, let's check what's the difference in uploading SVG and PNG first. So you won't freak out. So let's start with the SVG. Let's click it. And it's already, the file name is already petal 21, which is nice. You can put all your tags, however, but I only put file name. And if the file name doesn't match, you can just change it, however you want it. And then just click save. And then you can click this and then insert the image. So you have your petal number 21 is in SVG now here. So let's hide this first and let's pretend it's empty. And all the file we have is PNG. We don't have the SVG. So that's fine. The same thing you need to do is go to upload image, and then browse. I don't have to go to desktop and other stuff because it's already open. Let's click the PNG. Let's see what's the difference. So with PNG, when you put this one on your, let's go back. When you try to load this in your design space, you notice that there is an additional step here. So this is supposedly, you know, for cleaning your area that you don't want to be cut. But since it's already, you know, cleaned out for you, but just in PNG form, you don't have to do anything. All you need to do is click the simple and then click continue. So don't freak out. It's just like that. Just continue. And then now you have the file name, but you have two options now. You have option to save as print and cut, which we don't need, or let's just click this. Remember to click this, a save and cut, and then you can save. So you might wonder, oh, it changes color. That's fine, because when you click it and insert it to your design space, let's make this one smaller so it's easier. I will go and discuss further with the sizing later. So now this is your petal number 21, and you might say, oh my god, it's horrible black. That's fine, because you can change the color by clicking this red dot here and choose any color you want. So we can even change it to this nicer color. So we can designate which is SVG and which is PNG. But to be honest, I'm not really very happy with this blue. So let's change it with salmon. Yeah. So we have two files now. We have the PNG and we have the SVG. So there's really no doubt that you know, you can use both in your Cricut design space. So let's stick with this one because I like the color, and you know, just don't mind that the whether it's PNG or SVG. The important thing, it's already loaded up to your design space. Once it's loaded up, you know, you have the option to save and put the petal 21 size, or I would just go ahead and, you know, excuse me, put the other sizing before I will save it. So this is you only get one petal size when you purchase from my shop. So that's fine, because if you look deeper to your download, you will see that you have this petal, this Word document. These are the sizing. So A means the largest. It has like 6 different sizes on this particular petal design. So here also I indicated, you know, if you are making a large flower, all you need to do is to use the A, B, C, and D. If you're making the medium, you're using C, D, and E. And then if you're making small, you can use E and F. So also, lots of people were asking, where's the video tutorial? Well, there is the link of the video tutorial. When you click it and it doesn't work, all you need to do is to copy it and right click and then copy and then paste the link to your browser, and then it will direct you to the video tutorial. So this is the sizing. It comes with, you know, it comes with a purchase, so it would be easier. And it doesn't mean that I have the sizing all written there. You know, you have, it's, if you are a beginner, it would help when you follow. But as you get along, you know, becoming familiar with design space, it would really help if you just don't follow the sizing, but also you are familiar on sizing and manipulating your design space and your, you know, your Cricut, your machine, and your paper and your mat. So let's start with, let's focus on petal 21, how we are going to size this one. So most of my design are laid out in an 8.5 by 11 by 11 inches paper, which is the typical size of paper. So let's try to imitate that we have the 8.5 by 11. So actually you can put 8.5 by 11. So now you have your, this is in inches. So this grid is here with this reason. So let's make this purple so we can indicate that this is our paper. You don't have to do this. This is just a demonstration for you to see, that this is the kind of paper that I am using. And I'm going to duplicate it and change the color to the lighter one to show you that when we are cutting, there is, in my experience, there is what we call the safe spot, and the safe spot is in 8.25 by 10.75. So you should lay out your whatever petals you have or petal design you have. If you're aiming to use the 8.5 by 11 paper, you should stick on this particular area of your paper, so you'll be sure that all the you will be sure that your sizing is entirely correct to what it is in here. So the dark one, let's imagine this is our paper. This is our paper size, but the lighter purple is the area where we can safely stretch all the way, because my aim here is to teach you how to maximize your paper without wasting lots of things in it. So this is the safe area where you can stretch out all the way on your paper. So, but first of all, this petal 21, when you lay it out to your base, this is not the right position that this is not the position that I usually put this on, although you can, but I really do it the other way around, like flipping it horizontally. So that's where this button is used for, so you can reposition and mirror your items when you are positioning it to your mat. So let's go ahead and flip it horizontally, because when I arrange it to my base, this is really how I do it. I curl this side outward and I curl this side inward. So let's go ahead and try to fit this one. Oh, let me back up. Let's go back to the Word document And let's see. The height for the A, or the largest, is 10.02, and the width is 8.25. So what we can do is we can change the width of the height. This is the height, which has the H, and we have the width here. So 10.02, and then enter. So it automatically adjusts this one because we did not touch the lock. If we go back, to this one, and we will touch this, we unlock it. So there's two ways to unlock it, here and there. So if we touch it and we're going to put 02, it will only adjust the height, but the width will gonna be the same. So if we enter, the proportion now is off because we only adjusted the height. So I would recommend, if you are adjusting this one, you can just adjust the height or the width and don't adjust the other side anymore, because the proportion would always get, get corrected. But there are times also that I have a particular number that this is the only way how you can adjust it to the measurement that I have on the paper. So let's go ahead and check. It's 8.02. Oh, 8.25. 8.25 for the width. No. So now the proportion is back. So let's just close that and then place it into our area. So as you can see, our petal, largest petal, will fit perfectly to our safe zone. So our safe zone, as I said, this imaginary lighter purple area here. So when you size it, you can follow all the sizes, the B, C, D, E, F, in what I gave you in the Word document, like so. But there are ways that you can easily do it yourself without even looking at it, because it doesn't need to be perfectly the same as what I have here. You can do it your way according to how much paper you have or you're willing to make. And by the way, it says here ideally 6 petals per layer. So which means if you are making a large, you need to cut 6A, 6B, 6C, and 6D, and so on. So as I said, those are just a guide. It would help if you learn how to do it yourself. So the way how I do it, I tend to, I first plan how many layers do I want this flower has. And making a layer isn't really, I just make the layers just for you to have a guide. But like for example, if you are gonna make large, so large flowers usually has 4 layers. So what you can do is duplicate this one and then make 4 layers and make sure that the like the distance from this side to this side and to the next side and to the other side would be equally the same. So like the layering would be great looking. So again, we are going to duplicate it. I'm not going to see the sizing. I'm just eyeballing it. like so. And then the fourth layer is here. So it's basically like that. That's how you're going to make your first, second, third, and fourth layer for a large paper flower. So it doesn't need to be really, yeah, I really need to get into her sizing. No, the sizing is just a guide, but as long as you know how to size and how to adjust, use it in your advantage, and use it whatever resources you have. So the way how it works for me is that, I try to lay out the first, second, and third. If I'm making the medium, I try to lay out the 3 layers into one paper, because you know that the large one occupies already one whole sheet of paper, so there's no way that you can use this one, this, and this, or sneak it into the sides. So what I'm planning to do is to put this 3 together. And how we are going to do that is to, let's copy this uh, safe line, and let's rotate it to 90 degrees, like so. So we're going to position this one horizontally. And what I'm going to do here is to click this one, move to the back. So and then we're going to adjust it in a way that it would fit into our safe spot. So by the way, you don't have to do this if you are willing to uh, spend all the paper that you need to spend with this particular sizes, but I'm teaching you how to size it in a way that you will save a paper. So now let's turn it in a way that it would fit into our safe area. Seems like it's really not gonna happen. So what we can do here, it's either we can sneak this over here, and we can put this thing on different sheet. So let me back up. So this is our safe spot here. Let's move this one here, because we're going to focus on this other one. So again, let's copy that one because that's our safe spot. And again, it's 8.25 by 10.75. And let's move this one to the back so we can see it. So that, and then duplicate. So, or we can also flip this one vertically which would give us more space. So that's how you're going to lay out your petals when you're going to make a large, this is like the full 21 inches flower. As long as you maintain the size of the largest that I gave you, this would, and put a 5 inches base, this would at least reach to 21 inches flower. So this is how you're going to lay out. Since you're going to make six paper here, 6 sheets of the A, you'll also need to cut 6 of this second and fourth layer. And since you have 2 petals in this one sheet, you only need to cut 3 sheets of this particular paper. But let's remove this and remove this one, and let's pretend that we are in tight budget and we just need to stick to 12 sheets of paper to make a larger size flower. So what we're going to do now is to reposition this one, and let's flip this and position it this way. You can position it the way how you like it, you know, in order for it to fit in your safe zone. So as you can see, it's very off to our safe zone. So what we can do is to adjust this one a little bit in a way that it would fit into our safe zone. So what we can do is to hide this one first, and then let's transfer this one in here. So, you know, the proportion from our largest, the gradual, you know, sizing that we made, even the large size petal will also be you know, will also be included. So let's try to do it this way. So our largest becomes a little bit smaller now, so most likely it will only make like 18 to 19 inches of flower. And by the way, I think you can even sneak this one here already. Yeah, you can. Okay, so let's bring our safe matte again, and we can just turn it a little bit up, or maybe not. So again, there's still a little space here, so this is gonna be wasted and this is gonna be wasted when we, you know, we attempt to cut this into our design space and we wanted to utilize it. What we can do is just again hide it and have this one and this one, and then just put it all together and stretch it a little bit. So let's see if this now fit a little bit. Well, there's still a little bit more, so we can just, you know, size it a little bit more too, in order for us to really utilize and use our safe zone. Well, I think it's a bit off, so it requires trial and error. And, you know, just like a parachute, it will never work if a mind is open. It will never work if it is closed. So be open-minded with the possibility that you need to do this kind of things, you know, for your own benefit, you know, farther in the future. So let's reappear our mat, and you can see it's a little bit off, but it's an easy fix. So now both are, you know, fit into. All you need to do to make a large flower is 12 inches, 12 sheets of paper, and it's gonna be on this layout. This is just a sample. You can make your own, and, you know, just let me know how you think. So before we proceed, what I'm going to show you is to really make sure that these things comes together, and I will show you why. So okay, so let's focus in this largest and smallest petal and send them into cutting. So let's hide this, because if we won't hide it, the mat will find a paper to cut, you know, in a rectangular way also. So I'm just giving this to you as a guide, but we are not cutting it. No, we don't. So now we're very confident that, oh, you know, it's in our safe area. We can just easily cut it into our mat. So you're very excited and you click make it, and boom, it's on a 12 by 12 inches. You try to fit it to 8.5. You try to change it to 8.5 by 11 inches, but it tells you that it needs, you know, it needs 2 sheets of paper, and that's not what we want. It doesn't, you know, come together. We lay it out tilted a little bit and we sneak it in here so that we can utilize the paper, but it didn't happen. Why? Because we need to attach it together. How do we attach it together? We're going to select it together, and then this thing here is very important. Click attach. So now it's no longer 2 objects, but it's 1 object. So when you click make it, it's still in the 12 by 12, and you are not even allowed to select the 8.5. The selection for 8.5 is not here. So you freak out. Annie, it doesn't allow me to use the 8.5 by 11. That's fine, because as you can see, this is the 8.5 area of your paper here. And the light purple that I showed you earlier, the light purple rectangle, was the safe zone. That was where we lay out our template. It's a guide for us to make sure that, we are cutting on a safe area. So even though it's 12 by 12, ignore it. Just proceed on cutting. But by the way, when you proceed cutting and you position your mat, let me back up. You see, this is your entire mat. The 12, let's say 12 by 12. And you see, if you click this one, there's a dotted line here. Oh, not dotted line, it's really a red line. As you can see, that's a safe zone. The machine won't cut to that area. So it's like 0.25 or quarter of an inch area that the machine would waste. So what we're going to do is to compensate that, so to make sure that we are going to have a very safe area of cutting into your machine. So let me back up. Let's hide this too. This is our paper, the 8.5 by 11. So the way how we're going to position it in our mat is, yes, vertical. And you see that there was like a 0.25 safe zone in the mat earlier. So we are going to, instead of sticking our mat all the way to the corner, we're going to stick it like 0.20 inches lower and 0.20 inches 0.20 inches down and left. So that's how we're going to stick our paper into our mat. So when we place this paper with the mat into our machine, this area won't be wasted because the machine would cut, directly here. So, and plus we added an extra area. Instead of just being here in 8.25, there's like a 20.20 inches extra on the side and down. So let's go back. When we make it, so our paper will gonna be here and it's safe even if it's not a 12 by 12 inches. 12 by 12 inches paper is expensive, and we're not going to do that. Let's stick to 8.5 by 11. So just go ahead and, try that method and let me know if it works to you. But I'm sure it will. Just be open-minded, because some of the ladies, they were like, oh, I don't really, you should just give me all that. You should just give me all the size, you should just size it, everything. Well, yeah, maybe, but I'm not saying that my product is affordable. I should just give a cheap output. No, but what I'm trying to do here is more than giving you more than what you even buy. I'm teaching you the techniques on how you can save, and I hope you would consider that, like I've been always taught that not always to feed others, but let them or teach them how to fish as well. So that's how we do it. So back to our other, so these two are set. It's okay now. So let's go to our second set. So again, before we go and proceed, let's attach this one together. And if we're going to put our paper again, as you can see, it doesn't fit to an 8.5 by 11 vertically. So what we need to do, we need to position our paper horizontally. So instead of, instead of putting it on a vertical manner, we're putting it horizontally into our mat. And the same method, like 0.20 down, 0.20 right. So that's how we're going to put our paper into our mat to secure that it's really gonna be, it has enough space that you can cut. So you see, it's gonna be on the 8.5 by 11 is horizontal, not vertical. So again, ignore the 12 by 12 or not be able to, give you the 8.5 by 11, as long as you know that you are on the safe side. And the safe side, I mean 8.25 by 10.75. So you can then continue and cut like 6 of it. So okay, that's it. Now the question is the shapes. The base. When you are going to make a base is easy because the base is here. All you need to do is click shape, and you can use the circle or the hexagon. So for me, I really prefer the circle, but if you are more comfortable with hexagon, that's just go ahead. So for the large flower, opt for 5 inches base, and if you're making medium, go for 4 inches. Doesn't need to be perfect, but if you want it to be perfect, just type in 4 and enter. You have 4 inches. And then duplicate again. If you want to have a small flower, just go for 3 inches. So that's what you're going to have. This is the small, the large, medium, and the small. But with regards to the sizing of your petals, you really can adjust your base as well. So it's up to you. My sizing that I provided here is just a guide for you to learn how to size it yourself in the size that you want. Would really be very, very helpful. So again, let me add, how you can size it with how you can make a small or medium flower out of it. Well, it's very simple. So let's go back to this lone petal here, and I will duplicate it. Always duplicate and save the original. So again, I'm flipping this one horizontal because I like it. So how are we going to make a medium flower out of this template? So here's the secret. First thing you need to do is to create 3 layers, because medium size always have the 3-layer petals for me. So it's all up to you, but for me, you know, like a medium flower always be 3 layers. So that's how a medium flower layers would look like. And obviously, this sizing doesn't fit. So let's bring back our imaginary line here, our imaginary safe rectangle. And the way how I do it is, you know, try to position it in a way that it would really maximize the paper size. And obviously right now it's not, but we'll get there. And flip. Just, you don't have to be, you know, very meticulous with this. Well, you have to, but my point is, you don't really have to always follow what I do, but my point is, you can experiment which position would really benefit you in the future. I mean, which position would really gonna save you more paper. So this is just a guide on how you are going to position your petals for you to create a medium size. So obviously it's overflowing to our safe zone. So what we can do is to click this one, the 3, and then let's just adjust it all together. So doing so would ensure that, you know, all the petals would still maintain the integrity of its proportion, and at the same time, you know, it will fit perfectly okay with the safe area. So that's it. So now we have a 3-layer medium size flower. So although we can still stretch it a little bit, by doing so. So most likely this is like 16 inches flower, and all you need to consume is, you know, 6 pieces of paper. What a savings, right? So that's what I meant by teaching you how to size it. So again, before you press make sure to attach it all together and position your paper the way how you put it on your layout. Like this one is horizontal. So that's our medium size. Now how can you make a smaller size? Well, again, let's bring this back, duplicate, and let's change the color with maybe cactus pink or this one, jade. So it will be different than our, because these two are our, these are the large, this will be the medium, and this is the small. So this is gonna be your guide. So the way how I do small, it's basically just a 2-layer flower. So 2-layer flower, duplicate, and then have a smaller version of it. That's all you need. And what you can do, you can even flip it vertical, so it will, you know, you won't have to waste the area on this side. Like so. Let's move it this side, and let's duplicate this too. And we don't want to waste this area here, so what we're going to do is flip this one horizontally, which means our the larger one will be in our safer side. So let's just, you know, play with it to the point that we know that it's really is, you know, saving us some area and sheets. So now, if we're going to bring back our safe area, obviously it doesn't fit. It's vertical, no doubt it's vertical. You can eye it. If it's longer than 8.5, you need to position your paper horizontal. So no way that it can fit. So what we can do, again, we're going to adjust it in a way that it would be fitting to our paper, to our safe area. So there you have it. So since we have 2 larger and 2 smaller size of petals in each sheet, which means in one flower of a small size paper, of a small size flower, all you need to consume is 3 sheets of paper if you are opting for 6 layers or 6 petals per layer. So again, before you get excited of hitting the make it, you need to, let's hide this one again, and we need to click all and attach everything together. So when we make it, it's gonna stay on the layout that we left it into. And again, even though it's not giving us the 8.5 by 11 option, we can eyeball it that it's in the safe area. So you can go ahead and continue and then cut it. So that's the end of the tutorial. I hope you guys learn from the sizing and uploading it with PNG and SVG. So thank you so much for your support. Until next time.